Hey everybody, Roxybox90 here with another Top 10 EDH Commander card countdown. So today we're going to go through the top 10 Esper cards from Commander, the 3 color black, white, and blue. This color is infamous for artifact builds and incredible powerful control builds, and this is in many formats. Standard, Constructed, Legacy, Esper control has been a thing for a long time, and Esper Commander is a very powerful color. So we're going to do the same criteria we usually do. We're going to do this color specific, we're going to do multiplayer focused, we're going to do universal cards at the very top, ones that fit the most kinds of decks as much as possible, going down to the most narrow niche kind of builds. And we have a bunch of honorable mentions, no particular order. Enigma Sphinx is a huge flyer with Cascade. That's really the only thing about it, is it lets you play spells that are pretty much in the mid to late game range. It gives you recursion when it dies by being able to be put back on top from your graveyard to top of your deck, and it's a big body. Not a bad card at all. Sphinx Sovereign is a ton of mana for a huge flyer that gives you the ability to, yes, gain a little life if you want, but more importantly, if it's tapped at the end of your turn, each opponent loses 3 life. This can be, over the course of a game, absolutely devastating. Huge body, great card, reanimator target. Is the God Dragon for these colors. It's actually one of the more powerful Voltron-y kinds. Rampage lets it if it's being blocked. Additional creatures that block it, it gets 2/2, so it can get really powerful, and it's a really aggressive dragon. Dakon Blackblade, he's huge, potentially. He's known for a lot of Voltron-y style builds because he gets based on the number of lands, which can very quickly get out of hand in multiplayer Commander. He's a fun card, but no real stats, just awesome flavor. Urtai the Corrupted, very powerful. He's able to give you counter spell on the fly, which can make him absolutely broken, but at the same time, he's a bit narrow, requiring a lot of sack outlets to make him really function. Omar the Banisher is huge flyer from the invasion block, and its ability is fantastic. It's just a generic big flyer for 6, but if you hit a player, you're able to bounce back creatures of a certain color to his hands. It gives you a lot of sway in the field. Nice creature. Halfdane is the final honorable mention. He is a shapeshifter of sorts, but he only gets power and toughness of another creature until end of turn, which is not quite the same as many other clones that we have. So 10, Zur the Enchanter. Zur the Enchanter is one of the more powerful Voltron commanders in the format. Very popular commander. However, he's not exactly a card you just throw into any deck. He's fairly narrow. You really want him as your commander. Number 9, Sidri Galvanic Genius. A great card. 3 for a 2/2 human artificer that allows you to mess around with artifacts. You can turn non-creature artifacts into artifact creatures for very cheap and give them incredible stats. She's a very good utility builder on Commander and is a shoo-in for a lot of artifact-based decks, even if she's not the commander. I like her a lot, even though she has this artifact creature-heavy focus. Versatile, interesting utility card. I like her. So Sharum the Hegemon, one of the most infamous commanders in Esper. She is huge flying body that allows you this unbelievable recursion ability. You get any artifact from your graveyard into the battlefield every time she enters the battlefield. This allows you to play lots of shenanigans. If you have any sort of flicker style mechanic, it makes her absolutely ridiculous. Artifacts, getting back any other powerful artifact just gets absolutely out of hand. She is an incredible stylized card, an incredibly powerful one. Mariek Reberit. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, but she is an interesting tapper taker. By staying tapped, she lets you take control of creatures. She's a little bit more of a utility style. I haven't seen her used immensely as a commander, a little bit more as a utility creature in Commander, but I like that when she leaves play or is damaged, then the creature is destroyed, meaning that the opponent loses it if they attack her as the source. Very interesting card, good style, old card. Very cool. Send Triplets, 5 for a 3/3. This is one of the coolest mind control cards in the game. Every turn you get to pick an opponent, they can't do anything, and you can play their hand for yourself. This is incredibly versatile, given that you have 3 of the 5 colors, and in multiplayer gives you an absolute explosive realm of resources to draw on. One of the most powerful and also targeted commanders that you could possibly run. It also works very well as a supporting card. I like it, even though it's very vulnerable at 3/3 for 5 with nothing else going on for it. It's a double-edged sword of the utmost capacity. Valoro, Ageless Ascetic. He is the sloucher, the dude, the six-pack commander. He's very cool. Expensive from the Commander 2013 sets. He gives what you want in Esper. He gives you life gain and immense card draw in one big package. He's incredibly powerful as a commander, incredibly powerful as a utility, giving you an engine mid to late game. unbelievable card. Magister Sphinx, this people have heard me rail about. I think it's one of the most broken cards that is available at the moment in Commander. Setting that aside for a bit, it's incredibly powerful. It's a huge flyer, but most importantly, its stability. Target player's life total becomes 10. This is Sorin Markov, but on a creature, which allows you flickering, recursion, so many ways to absolutely abuse this and put yourself way in the lead. True that it does bring life gain under control, because life gain in Commander can be a bit insane, and to the point where it's impossible to stop them. I agree that that makes it necessary, but given the color range, you may as well run Sorin in terms of quote-unquote fairness, because this card is far more powerful than Sorin Markov in its effect. I think it's a unbelievably powerful card. Piece of the Steel Wind, this card is pretty much a shoe-in for any deck running Esper and many other decks. It's a huge reanimator target, one of the more versatile powerhouses. We have things like a Chroma out there that it's hard to argue are some of the most powerful creatures you can run in the game, and this one is definitely up there. Yes, it's an artifact creature, so it's a little bit more targetable, but it has incredible number of abilities. It has pro red and green, and it just is huge body, great art, everything about it is fantastic, and I think a ton of decks would run this card in Commander. Number 1 is Esper Charm. 3 mana for an instant that you get to choose. Destroy target enchantment, or draw 2 cards, or target player discards 2 cards. This card is absolutely fantastic in terms of its versatility. Yes, it's not the best charm out there, but it gives you so many options for so little at instant speed. It pretty much embodies what Esper is. The art is gorgeous. Many decks that aren't Esper focused would consider running this card. I like it. It's not quite as powerful as mentioned as other charms. Dromar's charm, it's hard to argue which one is particularly better, because both of them don't exactly have the most powerful abilities you can run on a charm, but I think Esper Charm for me would probably be, I think, a little better. The card draw plus enchantment destruction I think is better than just the counter spell. The other abilities on Dromar's I think are pretty darn weak. Both those charms sit carefully in the top slot, being something that the most number of decks I think would consider running, and in terms of embodying Esper, and in terms of being a very flexible multiplayer card. Those are my top 10 Esper cards for EDH Commander. I hope you guys enjoyed the list. Let me know down below in the comment section what your thoughts are on the list, and if you have any additional cards or ideas that you'd want to put along, as well as we have the Jund top 10 list, the final shards of Alara color list coming up soon as well. If you guys are interested, until the end of the year, if you order from abugames.com, who's a sponsor for the channel, if you order $25 or more, you would get a Concept Art Cure Pack for free if you include in the comment section of your order Roxaboxen Pack. You can find the details of that in the description. As well, if you guys are interested, please jump over to Patreon and see if you are interested in joining support for the channel. You get top 10s 3 hours before anybody else, as well as other potential prizes depending on which donations you have. Any donations are welcome, and I really appreciate anything you guys give to the channel. If you enjoyed the video, tap the like button. If you're new to the channel, check in and subscribe. As always, Roxaboxen90 signing out. I'll see you guys next time.